Dear friends, uh, one experiment is pending during regular lectures. So I'm giving some brief explanation regarding about verification of Beer's law. Okay, we have some idea that about this Beer's law and about this spectroscopic topic. Okay, we have UV visible spectroscopy in our syllabus. Okay, just I will stick to verification of the law, this experiment actually, right? So we know that absorbance is directly proportional to concentration when the thickness of medium is constant. Okay, Beer's law is absorbance of a light by the sample solution. This is the sample solution we'll be taking here. I will come to this part. This is sample solution. Okay, so absorbance of this light by the sample solution, this absorbance is directly proportional to the concentration of the solution when the thickness, suppose dx is the thickness of this medium, this sample holder, dx is the thickness, when the thickness is kept constant. This law we have to verify. What is meaning of this? Meaning is that when you pass a particular light, particular wavelength on the different concentration of the same solution, suppose we are using here copper sulfate solution, we can use any other solution. In our regular batches we will be taking copper sulfate or copper sulfate ammonia complex or KMnO4 solution last time we have used, and so on. So this is my sample solution, suppose copper sulfate. So I will be making 5 to 6 different concentrations of this copper sulfate, and I will pass the light, given light, on these different solutions or solutions of different concentration. The law says that as I am going from lower to higher and highest concentration, as I am changing the concentration of the solution or increasing the concentration of the solution, absorbance go on increasing, isn't it? When the thickness of the medium, width of the medium in which you have taken the solution is kept constant, that we have to verify. Okay, now this experiment, suppose we are using copper sulfate solution, okay, I have mentioned, or one can use any transparent medium or solution. This experiment has three bits or three subtopics or three parts, we can say. One is preparation of solutions. We are making preparation of, suppose, 0.001 molar copper sulfate. Then our second solution will be 0.002 molar copper sulfate. Then 0.003 molar and 0.004 molar, and one more higher concentration, and there is a unknown solution. What is unknown solution? It is a solution of copper sulfate only, but its concentration is not known to us. That also we can find out in this experiment. So we are using these 5 solutions, right, of copper sulfate. Fine. This solution already prepared and given to you. Okay, in the link I have provided you, they have shown preparation of solution. Suppose these solutions are prepared and directly given to you to verify the law. Okay, fine. One part of the experiment is determination of lambda max. Okay, selection of lambda max, deciding lambda max. What is determination of lambda max? Before going to that, let us have the brief idea of the instrument. This is colorimeter. This is a block diagram or schematic representation of colorimeter or even single beam spectrophotometer, right? In our lab we have colorimeter as well as single beam spectrophotometer. What are the main components of that instrument? Let us go to that first. Okay, light source, mostly tungsten filament or hydrogen discharge lamp we use here. Okay, from that, so we try to select the wavelength that covers full length 200 to 800 nanometer wavelength, okay, or maximum portion from this part of the spectrum. So all lights, different wavelengths are coming from the source, entrance slit, prism. For dispersion of light, there will be exit slit. Okay, a fine beam of each wavelength is allowed to pass behind this point. There may be a wavelength control filter in a single beam as well as in a colorimeter that identifies the color difference. Okay, when you are having different concentration, means amount of solute is different of this blue color copper sulfate, the colors will be different as the amount of solute is found to be different. Fine. So after that, so all wavelengths are coming behind this point. Each fine beam monochromatic light of each wavelength may be passing behind this point. Next compartment is wavelength control filter. What is that? It is controlling the wavelength which is not required. Suppose from this point we are getting 600 nanometer, then 601 nanometer and 602 nanometer. Suppose I want only one wavelength to pass behind this point is suppose 605 nanometer. So I will put that filter here. I will put a filter of 605 nanometer wavelength. So only that light will pass behind this point. That is wavelength control filter. So in a colorimeter, we one by one we insert the filter of a given wavelength and that will hit the sample. This is called sample holder, in which you have taken some volume of copper sulfate solution, or it is called cuvette. This sample solution we have kept. Okay, or in a single beam also manually you have to change the filter wavelength, you have to change manually. First we will pass 601, we will record absorbance, how much part from this is absorbed by the sample, then manually we will go to 602, then 603. One by one we will pass each wavelength on the sample copper sulfate solution of given concentration. So this we know how much part, what light we have passed on this. Okay, means how many number of photons are there in this particular wavelength, right? Suppose it has 100 photons. Let us consider. So some part of this light will be absorbed by the sample, right? That is called absorbance. Some part may not be absorbed. That part of the light not absorbed is recorded in the form of percentage transmittance. Okay, we know how much light we have passed. We have passed this wavelength 605 nanometer. Let us consider having 100 photons. Okay, certain part of light will be absorbed by the sample, that is called absorbance. Some part may not be absorbed, that is allowed to pass, that is recorded in the form of percentage transmittance, right? This recorder and detector will detect and record this point, this part. This is known to us. This recorder and detector amplify the signal and will record this. Suppose 30 photons are not absorbed, 100 you have passed, 30 will be recorded by the instrument. So 100 minus 30 is a 70 will be the absorbance. Out of 100 photons say we have passed, 30 will be recorded by 30 will not absorbed, that will be recorded by this photo cell we are using for detection purpose, or photoelectric cell, right? Instrument will do the difference, how much we have passed, how much is not absorbed. This difference is called as absorbance. This is called absorbance. This we want to record. And this percentage transmittance, how it is recorded? This beam of light which is not absorbed in a photo cell. What is the rough setup of the photo cell? 2 electrodes are taken, made anode and cathode part, mostly the first A group element or second A group element, smaller element like potassium, like magnesium, like strontium, etc. They require small energy for ejection of electron. So the light not absorbed, this part, light not absorbed by the sample will hit the electrode. Okay, it will cause ejection of electron. There will be flow of electron going to anode, and we put an ammeter that will record the current, and intensity of the light is proportional to intensity of the current. We will get percentage transmittance. Instrument will do the difference. We will get absorbance value. This way the absorbance is recorded by the single beam spectrophotometer or even by colorimeter. Okay. Now going to the experiment. First part is determining lambda max. What is that? This part. What light we want to hit on the sample. That light we have to select. That wavelength we have to select first. Fine. That is called lambda max. wavelength, lambda is wavelength of maximum absorption that we have to select. How to select that? See, for that purpose, what we'll do, we'll pass first wavelength available with us, suppose 600 nanometer. Then, then we'll record the absorbance. This will instrument record the absorbance. Then we'll pass next higher wavelength. There will record absorbance, and the third and fourth and so on. Okay. Now, if you are using this colorimeter, we have got 400 to 800 nanometer. We have got 400 wavelengths, right? So that these many wavelengths will not pass. We know that lambda max of copper sulfate is 620. Lambda max of copper sulfate is 620. Okay, so we'll take 10 wavelengths above 620, 10 wavelengths below 620. So in the manual we have provided, part 1 is lambda max. What is lambda max? Selecting that wavelength which is absorbed by maximum extent, lambda max wavelength that is absorbed by maximum extent by the sample, which is absorbed by to maximum extent by the copper sulfate solution. Okay, how many solutions we have? We have 5 solutions and 1 unknown, means total 6 solutions. Out of that, mostly we, for selecting lambda max, in the sample holder will keep the solution of highest concentration. So in the sample holder, in the cuvette, we'll put some volume of this solution, 0.005 molar solution of highest concentration among the 5. Okay, so in the part 1 we have kept here 0.005 molar solution, right? And as we know, lambda max is 620, but to record that exactly, so this is observation table, lambda wavelength pass. This is observation table we have given in the manual, wavelength passed. Okay, and it is absorbance. It is absorbance, right? So we'll start from 610 wavelength. Okay, then 611 wavelength. We'll record the absorbance. Then 612. You go up to 620 and 621. So 610 to 630. These many wavelengths will pass one by one. So for these 20 wavelengths, we'll record the absorbance. We'll notice that suppose this is 0.07, this will be 0.09, this will be 0.11, and this will be maximum we'll get for 620. Then again it will decrease. Suppose lambda max is here 0.9, yeah, 0.53 for 620. Then 621 again it will decrease to some extent. It may come 0.51. Then for 622 it may go 0.49 and so on. So as we know, the lambda max of copper sulfate is 620. To select exact value, by doing experiment, we'll pass 20 wavelengths, 10 above 620, 10 below 620. So we'll start from here. You start from 610, record absorbance, 611, record absorbance, and so on. Okay, we have found that from this observation table, we'll notice that for this wavelength, absorbance value is found to be maximum, so that becomes your lambda max. Lambda max will be 620 nanometer. This is one part of the experiment. How to select lambda max? Why we are selecting lambda max? Because we know that what are the transitions observed in the sample in a UV visible electronic transition, electron excitation will always occur at a lambda max value, right? So if you want to plot a graph of this part, this will be what? This will be absorbance. What is the absorbance? And this will be 610, 611, then 612, and go on putting up to 630. Or you alternate manner, you put 610, 612, 614, 616, and so on. You will find your graph is coming like this. You will find graph is coming like this. So at 620, suppose this is 620. At 620 wavelength, this is lambda. At this wavelength, your absorbance value is maximum. So this is my lambda max. This is my lambda max. This way we do the lambda max process, isn't it? In this colorimeter, or in the single beam spectrophotometer. So that observation table you have to prepare. In that, you start with the 610, 611, go to 620 and go to 630 also. So 20 readings you record. How many wavelengths you have passed? 20 wavelengths you have passed, and you show that for this wavelength lambda max value is coming maximum. Lambda max value is coming maximum. This way we record the lambda max. Okay, this is one part. Second part is verification of Beer's law. So in this first part, we have not used the solutions that we have initially prepared. We have used only one solution. Rest solution we have not used. What we have used? We have used different wavelengths, different light, different photons of light we have used of different intensity, isn't it? And in verifying the law, now our lambda max is fixed. Our lambda max is fixed. What will be changing? We will be using solutions. We will be using, so this we are not changing. What will be changing? Here first we will take 0.001 molar solution. Lambda max is already decided, already determined. It is 620 suppose, or whatever. In the second part of the experiment, that is verification of Beer's law, will not change the wavelength. We will be changing the solution. In the sample holder, first we will take this solution, that is 0.001 molar copper sulfate. We will pass 620 nanometer light, and we will again record the absorbance. Fine. Then we will take out this solution. We will add solution of higher concentration, 0.002 molar. Again we will pass 620 wavelength. Again we will record the absorbance. And then for this third solution and fourth solution and fifth solution and unknown, right? So there you prepare observation table. What? Wavelength passed, wavelength pass, isn't it? Like this. In the observation table they have written flask number. Flask number is what? In the first volumetric flask we have kept this. In the second volumetric flask we have kept this solution. In the third we have kept this, and then fourth and fifth and unknown. So these are the flask number, actually solution number, isn't it? 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. So what is wavelength pass? Wavelength pass is 620. No, it is what? Concentration. Wavelength is fixed. Here in the second column in observation table it is concentration of copper sulfate solution. It is what? 0.001. You record the absorbance. Then it is 0.002 molar. Then third is 0.003 molar. Then it is higher concentration. And last is unknown. So we will pass what? 620 nanometer on this solution first by putting it in a sample holder. We will record absorbance. Then we will put this solution in the sample holder. We will pass this light, this wavelength. We will record absorbance. And absorbance, what they have shown in the link is, I think this 0.07 or something. They have given the absorbance value 0.07. It is 0.07. In the link they got the reading. So we put that reading. Okay. Then second reading is 0.15, almost double. Then it is 0.20 roughly. Okay. Then it is 0.27. Then it is 0.34. And for unknown it is suppose 0.24. Isn't it? Like this. These are the concentration. These are the absorbance. As we are increasing the concentration, absorbance go on increasing. This way verify the law. The second part of the experiment, second point, and third point, thereby we can find the concentration of unknown solution easily. So when you plot a graph of these, what is this? Absorbance. Okay, how much part of the light is absorbed, how many number of photons are absorbed by the sample solution of given concentration, and on this side it is concentration of solution. It is 0.001 molar, 0.002 molar, and 0.003 molar, and fourth and 5. This is suppose 0.004 and 0.005. These 5 solutions we are using. Okay, this is absorbance. So for minimum concentration, the minimum absorbance. As you increase the concentration, absorbance go on increasing. We should get a straight line passing from the origin, passing from the center. Isn't it? There will be minor deflection, but by and large we will get 1 point, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay. And for unknown, it is 24. Somewhere in between 3 and 4 it is falling. So this is a point for unknown solution. Maybe here, like this. This is a for unknown solution whose concentration is not known. We can find out from the graph. Absorbance is 0.24. Oh, absorbance is 0.24. Instead of 24, I will make it 0.31. Okay, suppose it is 0.31 here. This is a for unknown solution. Absorbance is this. So this is the absorbance, and corresponding point on the x-axis will be the concentration. So this will be the concentration of unknown solution. This will be concentration of unknown copper sulfate solution. So this way simply we can verify all the 3 points. We can find out all the 3 points. What are these? Selection of lambda max. In selection of lambda max, we are keeping any one solution among the available. Mostly we keep solution of highest concentration, and will pass the available wavelength present in the instrument, and will get a graph. Okay, minimum to maximum. So that becomes lambda max. What is that? Just we are selecting what is the wavelength absorbed by the sample to maximum extent, that becomes lambda max. Second part means in first part, in selecting lambda max, we are not changing the solution. Solution remain one. We will change the wavelength. We will pass the wavelength on the solution one by one. Solution of one concentration. In the second part, that is verification of Beer's law, lambda max, the wavelength we are not changing. We are changing the solutions. Same number of photons are allowed to interact with the sample, but sample is of different concentration. Okay, and we know that when you are increasing the concentration, absorbance go on increasing. Second part to be verified, and from the graph we can find out the unknown concentration of the same copper sulfate solution. This is a point for unknown absorbance. So corresponding point on the x-axis is a concentration of unknown solution. This is a verification of Beer's law, isn't it? So in the manual with maximum understanding you write. Okay. In the assignment also I have question was there to draw the block diagram of this single beam spectrophotometer. This was the diagram, and this photocell part was expected in number of cases, in number of assignment. Your source of light was like this. Your source of light was like this. This is my source of light, and somewhere it is copied from the books. So as far as possible, with a maximum understanding, you are expected to write. Okay. So I hope, I think this much is sufficient. Brief idea is this much is okay. Okay. Thank you.